Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. My king told me about this first thing this morning, and a brother Yapa Yapa had called me, but I had missed his call, and he was sharing with me that this brother, Damar Hamlin, is in critical condition after collapsing from a cardiac arrest on the field in the middle of the game, the team says. This is Brother Damar Hamlin, and he's only 24. Not, you could have football players who are overweight, but he doesn't seem so at all on the outside. Nowadays, you can be filled with so much toxicity because the food is that poison that you could be slender and far closer to death and old age. And I don't mean to put it bluntly, but this is the time to be blunt, okay? You could be closer to a really unsavory occurrence than you would have ever have wanted to be. And so going back to the article, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is in critical condition. Now he's out of immediate danger, but critical condition means that his, health could spiral downward depending on multiple factors, including infections that happen on the regular in hospitals because they tend to concentrate on sickness. You don't go to the hospital because you feel fantastic and you want to confirm with the doctor that you got health figured out. And he goes, yeah, that's great. Just keep doing what you're doing. No, you go there because you are in danger. And so they say that this heart attack happened and he collapsed on the field during the first quarter of Monday night's game. And after getting up from an open field, he fell on his back just moments after getting up from an open field tackle of Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. And I hope the best for T. Higgins, that he understands. And most grown men do understand that they're playing a game. I don't know about nowadays. Everybody acts like it's some sort of historical occurrence when a football game gets scheduled. But I'll just keep on reading. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. The 24-year-old's collapse left players distraught, crying, praying, kneeling, and embracing one another before they returned to the locker room. Wow. I'm glad I don't have to offer them condolences. I don't want to. That's why I do what I do, because we've all noticed this is escalating. I did the share about Sinful the pimp, and he just died in his early 30s. And people were wondering, even though he wasn't technically a part of the black manosphere, he was part of the pimp manosphere. I don't know how you could put pimp and man together at the same time, but they were wondering, lots of folks are wondering, is this a black manosphere phenomenon? No, it's not. Even though there are, for the percentage that we comprise in the unentitled snakes of America, it's too high. It's too high. And that's why I keep emphasizing the CMOS, which is obviously targeted in its advertising trajectory at us. I know Dr. Sebi recommended it, but Dr. Sebi wasn't studying man-made radiation, which, if he had an understanding of what was going on, he just may have, because it's been saturating. Every single nuclear power plant is an active nuclear bomb exploding, especially on the weekends when they vent all the radioactive buildup that's inside. Otherwise, those suckers would just explode outright. So it's a time-release nuclear bomb. Everybody who lives like within 50 miles of a nuclear power plant, you have a 20% increase rate of all the debilitations that radiation causes. They don't tell anybody that. Right? When you're going to look for houses, the real estate agent ain't ever going to mention, oh, the nuclear power plant is just a couple blocks away. Like in one town in Texas, where it's all black and the people are dying of cancer at crazy rates. I did a whole, 2 epic shares on it. And then they had Aaron Brockovich show up claiming that it's some, regular chemical waste processing plant. She didn't mention a nuclear power plant at all because in my conclusion, she's a total shill, right? Because what she was complaining about, they got factories like that all over the friggin' planet and there's no problems whatsoever. I'm not saying it's not poison. But she never mentioned nuclear power plant, which is right nearby. Okay? The First Ward District, I do believe it is. So I highly recommend going and to join my account. Join with my account. I hate the words following and friends and all the rest. They're so superficially intended by these devils who run these platforms. But check out my Instagram account. Go all the way through because you're going to get so much information that I cannot even share on YouTube. But I could put this here. 7 billion snow crabs want you to know we all have deposits. That's what they're called. It is in the muscles, in tissues, that cesium, a man-made radioactive isotope, forms a sediment. Cesium is the exact chemical equivalent of potassium. We know that the heart muscle contains 20 times more potassium than any other muscle in the body. It also contains more cesium, given that it is the chemical equivalent of potassium, and all these nuclear power plants are putting it out. It's not natural to the planet. So your body doesn't recognize it. Like it's going to recognize the radioactive potassium in a banana. Ain't nobody wearing hazmat suits on a Chiquita banana grove. Because they don't need to. Ain't no mutated babies coming from anything of the sort from gathering bananas. Okay? And so they tried to just make everybody fall asleep there. Nonstop, lividly, hypochondriacal about what they swore. And they're going to again swear you need to be locked down. That's what China's all about right now. I had to unsubscribe to all the channels that were giving really amazing information about China because it turned into more of the same exact propaganda that they put out with the initiation of the crap that was perfectly timed with the placement of this Moloch statue by the Vatican Church. They put this out there right before all the crap that they swore that we can't even come outside the house. So I unsubscribed from all of that because I see the trajectory of all of it. There's so much information that I can't share and keep this under 40 minutes. But I did want to just put out there, when we see the massive increase in die-offs and all these things, this is what radiation causes, whereas only 40% of Americans got that pokey thing, okay? Only 40%, and even fewer of black you and me got that thing. And so that I can't say without having a spectrogram and there are spectrograms you use which will test the levels of radiation in your body. That would be wonderful if we had access to that. Go buy my soap, which will be available real shortly on 25000yearscycle.net. Amazing soap. I formulated exactly for this radioactive age, okay? And so if we had this equipment to test, then I could definitively say, oh, you got that radioactive cesium in your heart, which, by the way, accumulates in greater amounts with the athletes because they use their heart muscles more. I know we're used to, but cardiac problems happen because you overeat. No. When you're an athlete, you got a beeline of nutrients, hopefully, that are going straight to all those organs and those muscles you use impactfully. I have been reporting about the horrific die-off of racing horses for the same reasons, way before anything we're seeing. And Jill Biden, who's truly awful woman, predicted that there's going to be a massive increase of cancers because they know Hillary Clinton, when Fukushima first was exploded, advised all her staff to hunker indoors. Right? These folks, they know this stuff. Why you think they did all that stuff they did? Why you think Moloch's up there? Because they want to cast a spell so we will blame what we think, well, I didn't get the jab, so I ain't worried about it. Or you'll think, well, let me not get any of them daggone boosters. When the booster into our coffins is in our food. It's in our food. It's the radiation. That's why these daggone people put this up here. And so when you hear the Pope talking about it's the end of the world, that's what they're hoping. Because if you understood the dynamics and the cures for radiation, you would not be worried at all. You would not be mystified. You would just be like, look, I'm just going to survive this out because I know these devils are going out. Not black us, not you and me. No. Right? And so this dude is up here saying, I see still greater omens of greater destruction and desolation in the world, and called on people to put aside selfishness, indifference, and antagonism. When you got folk putting up Moloch statues where you used to sacrifice, not you, they, them, just them, used to sacrifice their brand newborn infants. And this was set up as a furnace, an oven, in the form of this beast. This is Lucifer, Satan, all that crap. That's why they got the little black boy and the little white girl standing together. And you notice they've been shoving in the headlines since Twitch killed himself, surrounded by Becky. They've been just pushing nonstop pictures of happy black Negroes with their Becky. Right? They don't want you to lose faith in a woman who, after the age of 30, you can't help but lose faith when you see all them wrinkles. They want you to keep on blaming the black woman for having those weaves. If she didn't have those weaves, how much surgery is Becky getting these days? Okay? And when during the lockdown, man, boom, and they call them Brazilian butts because they don't want to call them what they really are. Our black sisters. Behinds, right? And some of us, we ain't got no big friggin' tabletop butts. Some of us do. God bless you. I wish I kind of had one myself, but I do just fine. In the meantime, I know all of us collectively do a whole lot better than others who envy us. I'm like, love what you got. It's taking us all this time to love who we are. So we could divorce ourselves from these people who mean no damn good for one of us. Because here goes another one of his quotes, and this one is a friggin' right-wing type of agenda. But Francis hates America, where he said, Pope Francis told the Italian newspaper La Repubblica that the United States of America has a distorted vision of the world. And Americans must be ruled by a world government as soon as possible for their own good. No. You know what's happening? Black you and me are waking up. And they can't stop it. They're so terrified of it that they won't even acknowledge it. That's why when you go on over to Instagram and other Facebook and other sites and you just type in Black Love Revolution, Black Love Couples, you'll see us just getting together, having families, beautiful black families, one after the other, one after the other. Don't want nothing. Just, it feels weird for us now to contemplate not being black, to have children who are not firmly rooted in the might of their melanin. We don't want that. And they know that. So that's why they got this going on. That's why they got the CMOS going on. Let's just hashtag I can't put in the truth about it, radioactive CMOS. Let's just put in CMOS and see what comes up. Oh, look, I don't even have to scroll down. Who's there? Who's being pushed? CMOS, but black us. Let's go down a little further. It's all this stuff here, and then whoop, there we go. Black. Our black babies, they got gummy bears out there with made of CMOS. It's crazy, right? So did this brother, was he taking, and it's not just in the CMOS. The FDA has removed all alerts for you and I, for the rich satanic elites. They're going to know what's radioactive or not. They could buy 10, 20 spectrograms, right? But for you and me, all the food coming in from Fukushima, it could be as popping as if it was grown directly in those destroyed reactors, and they won't say a damn word. Where you think they're sending that stuff to? Right? I showed you the Oppenheimer quote. So you need to see it again, go to the Instagram. It's all there. And if you need to support me being able to test your food like those Japanese housewives, there it is, right here. The Mother's Radiation Lab is 60 kilometers from the damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant. It tests locally food produced. Why would they even bother just getting this level of equipment if they weren't finding stuff? Okay? So without a doubt, you need my book, Furnace of Affliction, to have the best chance possible. It is the only book of its kind on the entire planet, with the remedies and the cures and the proof. And purchase it at 25,000yearcycle.net. $20 for the ebook, $35 for the printed copy, and I will sign it for you if that sort of thing is important to you. More important is the fact that you got over 10 years of dedicated, I love the heck out of you research going on in that book, going on in my personhood every single day, right? I'm getting that soap together, and yeah, the soap is almost done, and I'm ready to send out the sample gift bars to people who bought the soap before. And then, I'm so excited about that. I let me get off, because otherwise I'll talk too much. And I thank all the people who helped this brother straight away so that he survived an event that just waylays I don't know how many hundreds of thousands every single day. The ones who are really suffering from this global radioactive deluge, they don't make the headlines. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone who gets saved. We should all probably find out how to resuscitate people who reach a critical level. And that said, I'm deeply grateful to all the people who saved this brother so that I don't have to do any reports other than, some of us got sick, but then the word was spread all over to all of us so we can get better. We can heal up, and we can be the mighty people we were meant to be. Very handsome brother. Get yourself a sister, all right? Peace and blessings, family. I love you. Straight, black, family pride.